Don't forget to subscribe to Basement Tales. Just go on Apple, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts and hit that subscribe button. We release a podcast every Thursday. That way you'll be sure not to miss an episode.
Hey Basement Tales fans, and welcome to episode 36 of the podcast. This is Charlie Grass, the podcast editor. The Basement Tales crew is away on vacation this week, so this episode is a special one. In episode 33, Not the Dump, with guest Carter the Contractor, Carter was delayed in calling in due to some issues with Zoom. While the team waited, Sam actually had some interesting discussion points about persistence and getting work done. This episode includes that discussion. Enjoy.
There we go. I am so rarely called dapper that I want that in a recording, even if we don't use it, which we won't.
Ed is super dapper today.
Sweet.
He is looking so sharp. That we would not. If I didn't hear him talking, I wouldn't know who he was.
I'm not sure if I like that, but that's probably true. But this, I have a topic that will allow me to shut the hell up because I'm terrible.
I love this country.
At several topics, and maybe you guys got some as well, but it relates to what Sandra did. I think is how do you get shit done? Just get it done. How do you get it done? And this is a Sam topic because I see Sam do this. And the reason I thought of this, I sent him a text and I said, "Hey Sam, I'm going to be here at 4:40 instead of 4:30 when we were supposed to meet." So Sam sends me back a text, "Okay." And what's so great about that text, I don't know if that's like, "Okay, you jackass, what else am I going to do?" Or, "Okay, I know that's good, no problem." So I felt this horrendous pressure because I'm very self-conscious too, but like how angry have I just made everybody on this podcast? and I don't know if in this particular case Sam did that intentionally, but he does this in general. But I watch Sam, he somehow keeps contractors on track, government people. And so Sandra, by being nice to me, I think she's trying to keep me on track because I am not dapper or in any way anything. Anyway. So I see.
If you see someone click on your link, then you add them in. That's on iPhone.
Yeah.
Here we have a guest.
Oh, that's more important.
And Charlie, you need to provide a nice introduction for our guest once he's connected.
Oh wow!
I think he's on. Oh no, it says
still connecting audio.
So he wants to be known as a quality. He wants to everything we know about him, all the good stuff.
Oh.
That's an introduction.
Does he know how to get it done?
I don't know. We're going to find out. He's revved up.
So back to Ed's assessment of his dapperness. Yeah. Isn't that up to me to decide?
Or lack thereof.
Wait.
Go ahead.
No Ed bashing today.
Hey, look.
No, it's okay.
We're not doing that. We're not bashing Ed today.
I take that all the time, but this is a good way to for me to act positively.
I know.
Say something really nice about me when once in a while you're a little.
I know you're in a sour mood, so I'm trying to smooth you out a little bit before we get started.
That's is how you work with people. Like I can't do this. Like you're a nice human being, Sandra, and this is how you work with people. Sam,
Can you tell Sam that? Sam thinks that I'm not a nice human being.
No, but.
Right.
But yet
After being married for 27 years, Ed, I just know how to work them,
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
I was about to say that.
That is so wrong.
Well, some people's powers only extend to certain, I can't work anybody. Sam can work contractors and government people like nobody you've ever seen.
That's not even true.
I think you read those self-help books, how to make it happen. But seriously, I mean, some of the stuff and this is relevant, how you treat people, how you work with people. We've talked before about how to deal with renters and all of that and treat people like human beings, communicate. That's true generally. But let's say, our listeners, they want to get into this field and have a rental or buy and sell flips or get wholesale deals and then work with contractors. How do you work with people to be effective? Because we've all run across people they're just hard to work with, or they're mean, or they're Do you just like, I want to talk to that person, or they say nothing for 6 months and then they come and hound you, which is kind of my method typically. but I know, and I'm not puffing up Sam, or maybe I am for this purpose, but I would be curious, like Sam's method of following up with people, like how you get them to do, things are busy now. Contractors are busy. So, do you know what I'm talking about, Sam? Maybe you can pick that
triangulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same method that Charlie uses when he's out finding properties. You just try to get a person from 3 different points. Either someone they know who knows you says, hey, how's things going with Ed? Or you text them and then you email them and you call them. And then you increase frequency, right? You trade it off and then you increase frequency. If you're not getting responses, then you wait 2 days. And then you start waiting a day, and then you start waiting every 6 hours. And then you just tell them, hey, I'm really sorry, but I got to call you every hour until this is done. And eventually they're like, I can't take it. And they just cave. And you just honest with them. You just tell them, look, I know you got a million things to do. But,
and my triangulation is just 3 ways, right? Email, text, and phone call.
Oh, yeah.
Just barrage them until they just wave the white flag and say, I give up.
They surrender.
Yeah, they surrender.
Now, do you use that with anybody, or is that somebody that's working for you that's getting paid? You know what I mean? Does that work in any situation?
I think it works in any situation if you bring, an attitude of respect to it, right? They have a lot of work to do. They know they've prioritized you. And if they tell you, look, I can get back to you 4 days from now, you just respect that. And then you tell them, okay, great. I'll call you at noon, 4 days from now. and then you follow up. You just do what they say. They say, okay, it's 4 days. And then it's like, well, now it's time. And then they'll put you off again and be like, I need another 3 days. I'm way backed up. And then you call them again. You're like, look, it's now another 3 days.
Well, one thing I hate is when people give me false deadlines. So I remember as a young associate, the partner would be like, okay, I got to have this memo by Thursday. And then they didn't look at it till like Tuesday of the next week. And I'm like, do you realize how much damage you did to my life by making that be done on Thursday? So Sandra, you've obviously been very successful in business, and you're now in the real estate with the rental. Is this similar to how you deal with people and get them to do, whether it's your husband or your kids? I mean, kids are a special category, I guess, but do you do sort of the triangulation? Do you just trust people, expect them to do it?
I can't say that I triangulate. I'm more like you than you think, Ed. I don't like people.
I'm sorry for you.
I don't like people. I'm not one of those people who likes to deal with people and who likes to call and harass people. If you tell me you're going to do something and you don't do it, then I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough road.
It is.
No, you're right.
Really
this is me. This is me.
With you.
I'm scared to talk to people. Like, I feel bad to, even somebody I'm supposed to be working with, I feel bad to harass them. I know they're busy and whatever, but
I just don't have a harassing spirit because I don't like people harassing me. Maybe that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Those people that just bother you all the time, I'm like, oh my God, they're here again. So I can't bring myself to do that. So I'm not that kind of person. I appreciate people like that. I love people like that. And I love to have people like that working with me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this to Sam because I know he's going to harass the hell out of that person and get it done.
But I have the tenants and the borrowers, they will harass me. Like,
I am married to a man who doesn't matter or doesn't mind harassing people. So
he doesn't mind harassing, and he gets harassed. So if you give it, you get it, and
comes around.
It does. These tenants, they'll call you like 100 times for not even a light bulb, like a scratch on the wall, and you just got to deal with it with respect.
I've kind of given up on dealing with my tenant. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of calling them. So I just gave it to the man, and he does it. He's like, you want me to call him? I'm like, yep, you do it.
Hell yeah.
I don't even have to ask now.
Well, some of it's knowing your strengths, right? I mean, if you have a teammate, I love when Sam, he'll get stuff done. So if your husband can get that stuff done, it doesn't make him want to, light the house on fire. That's probably a good division of labor.
I can't say he doesn't want to do that, but he does it a lot better than he comes and talks to me first, so I can kind of talk him down and give him some direction. Then I tell him what we need to do and where we're going with it, and then he goes off on it because I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. So I've
Well, you
stopped
must
talking to
face.
them.
I've got 3 people on here who are done when they're done. They just get done and they're like, I can't take it
That's
anymore.
it. They cut off.
We had a closing 2 days ago, or yesterday. We were in the car, and it was supposed to have happened the day before, but these people would not accept a very plain language statement about an assignment fee. It was a $7,000 fee, and they just could not accept it. And Charlie tried to put them away, but they just wouldn't go away. They would not fund this deal.
And it wasn't that they had an issue with the payment; it was how it was.
They couldn't understand the words. Words. This is $7,000 fee. I mean, it's so plain. But I went back and took those steps that they needed to get through their busy, their machine.
Well, that also is a little bit of a leverage issue, right? Like you needed to get the $7,000 the deal to be done, so then you end up being flexible
I'll just do it.
to help
them.
You
have to do it.
Yeah, but you still end up harassing them a little bit. But that's my problem is I'm just like, ugh. And you would think I'd have no problem with this because I can be very mean. I mean, you have to be as an attorney. Yeah. So, but I don't like, believe it or not, I don't like to be mean, and I don't like to harass people. I know that sounds inherently wrong.
It doesn't seem like it's true.
Right. Yeah. Even as I say it, it doesn't sound true. But
I understand that, Ed.
I'm also like Sandra, where she's saying, if I say I really need this at Tuesday at 2:00 and the person says okay, why should I have to do anything further after that?
Nothing would get done if you relied on it.
But I'm not going to call and check up on you. I'm not going to ask how it's going. I know you would, Sam.
They just go right to sleep. If they just go right to sleep, they just say okay, and they're like.
Sam, at 2:01 p.m. we'll call up and say, hey, I remember you were going to get me that at 2:00 on Tuesday.
We had that today. There was supposed to be a closing on the property on New Jersey. And the first thing I wake up to is our processor has spent until midnight being repaired for today. So as you said, she would work to a deadline and she was ready. And then we receive an email. It's like, oh, hey, we'll just close next week. I never heard anything from the title company and all this. Title company's silent. And I said, oh, no way. We just made a few phone calls and woke everybody up. Let's do the closing today. Oh, okay. Well, we could still do it today. We have a whole day ahead of us. We could sign some papers. We could sign a pile of papers.
Papers are already there at the title company.
So Carter says he can see us, but he's not on. So tell him to turn on the video.
It says I'm seeing a mute sign.
Yeah.
Ask to unmute and ask to He has to hit the right
on
combination.
Zoom, yeah. Also,
I think you have to flick it to the side or whatever.
Go all the way to that first screen, Carter, and it says tap to speak or something like that to speak.
Oh, he's on the phone itself.
On the iPhone, you have to scroll all the way over to the left. Oh, that first screen, and then tap.
And I think I said ask to start video. This is his
first use.
His
first use of it.
I said he should have a little thing that he can tap because I said ask to start video. I think I don't know that, but
Carter,
Sam,
can you speak?
No. Sam, I have another question for you. I think I have an idea of how Charlie keeps his stuff straight. He's got a lot of spreadsheets and
spreadsheet jockey.
But how do you especially when you've been juggling a ton of flips, right? You don't have as many right now.
No.
So you can keep them straight. But how do you juggle when you've got 30 things to do on each flip times 8 houses? How do you keep that stuff straight? Is it just lists, or how do you do
lists? I do the list. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'll have a list. Oh my gosh, we've got a guest.